Hi everyone. Today we are going to take an old frame and turn it into a chic farmhouse chalkboard planner with dangles, which is totally awesome. And you can use this for anything that strikes your fancy, like a homework schedule, chore list, to-do list, reminders, a calendar of sorts. There's all kinds of things. But I specifically focused on part of this chalkboard being for self-care, the type of care we don't typically allot time for. It's awesome, super easy to create, very fast, and very inexpensive, especially if you have an old frame lying around your house somewhere that you're not using. And of course, I couldn't resist. I had to put dangles. Three-dimensional dangles, but there had to be dangles. And I think that makes it even better. This chalkboard could be used for so many things, but I really wanted to add that one section of self-care. I thought that would be something we could all benefit from. So by the end of this video, you will be able to create one of your own with minimal effort and enjoy the process because it is super fun to do. So let's get started. Let's take a moment and talk about the supplies you will need or possibly need. We will talk about a few of them here, but in the description box below, I will have a list of the supplies. You will need a frame, whether you buy it or have one laying around at home, and a chalkboard. I got mine from Walmart, and it's an 8 by 10, which fits in my frame perfectly, and it had the added benefit of having 2 holes drilled in it, which is exactly what I wanted. Another awesome part is that it was under $2. Please reference the description box for the remaining supplies. Okay, let's talk a little bit about paint. Now when it comes to the color, pick any color that you like that strikes your fancy. I picked kind of a deeper teal color. That is from Apple Barrel. It's called Laguna. And I also used Cool White from Americana. And that's pretty much it. So let's get this rolling. It really is so much fun to do. But before we start, I wanted to mention a few things. One, if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you'd give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell notification to be notified of future videos. Also, I've added a donation link, so if you would like to help support my channel, I would be very appreciative. Or you could help support my channel through Patreon. Both options will be listed in the description box below. And one more thing, I'm sorry that it's been a while since I have uploaded a video. I was unable to because of kind of a sudden move. So now I'm in a new location. Yay! But it kept me from uploading videos for a little while. It's really good to be back. Okay, now let's get going. Let's start by doing the frame. This particular frame is one that I have upcycled. I had it at home in a box. The first thing I did was drill 3 small holes on the bottom part of the frame. Those are for the little metal hooks. I put a hole on either side about an inch in and then one in the center. Now on to prepping the wood. And what I've done to it, because it is solid wood and had a finish on it, I took some sandpaper and just quickly roughed it up a little bit to help the paint stick in case there was any problems. There might not have been, but it was just a really fast measure to help ensure I wouldn't have to deal with any potential problems later. It only takes a minute and it is totally worth that time. A couple of things worth mentioning. One is don't forget to put something underneath your project. That way you won't get paint on any of your surfaces that you don't want it on. And there is no need to use good brushes. Since you're deliberately wanting something that's loose, kind of rough, little spongy brushes are great. Okay, carrying on. When I was painting it, I was not trying to make solid, thorough strokes, I wanted it to be loose and let a little bit of the wood show through. And then when I did the white layer, I wanted a little bit of the teal to show through. That was deliberate. Doing that also adds to that old farmhouse look. The main reason it does is because if you think about the old farmhouse, rustic, that sort of thing, you think about something being in use for years and years and years, and periodically, getting painted over. And over the years, parts of it wearing down. So putting multiple layers of different colors of paint and then sanding it down a little bit does give you that impression. Okay, I wanted to use a teal color as the underpainting. So I used Apple Barrel's Craft Paint Laguna for the first coat. Then I went over it with Cool White from Americana. Once that was done, I sanded it down a little, just enough to where I could see the bare wood in a few little spots and some more of the teal in a few spots come through. That definitely gives it that old farmhouse look. And an added benefit is if your paint has any sheen, like it's gloss or satin, sanding it down will rough it up enough to where it makes it appear to be more of a matte finish. And it only takes literally about 1 to 2 minutes to do and is totally worth that time. Now our frame is all painted, ready to go to the next step, which is totally fun, by the way, and that is what we put inside the frame and the hooks. Okay, so if you thought that painting a frame without being concerned how perfect it looked or looks was fun, well, now you get to have oodles of fun, because this is just like total playtime for grown-ups. All right, what we're going to do now is take a chalkboard, which I purchased at Walmart. It was under $2, okay, and it was an 8x10. So it was perfect size to fit into this frame. It has 2 holes, which again is perfect, because that's what I wanted. The twine that they have in this chalkboard is a little too thick for what I wanted. I put in a smaller piece of twine. Our chalkboard is ready to go. It just fits perfectly in there. Make for sure that the twine side that does not show the ties is the side that's facing out. Okay? Easy as pie. Pop that little puppy right in there and close the little thingies. I don't know what they're called. Thingies on the frame that keep the picture in. Showing my knowledge here. And now it's time for the 3 hooks to go on the bottom of the frame. So since the holes are already drilled, all you need to do is screw in the hooks. If one of the hooks doesn't fit snugly because your drill hole is just a little bit too big, no stresses. Just put glue in the hole and then go ahead and screw your hook in. Reason I say that is because you are not holding anything of weight, so it should be fine. Now, if you are going to have something that has some weight to it, then you are going to want to make for sure that your little drill holes are the right size. Once that's done and looking awesome, now comes one of the really fun parts, because I absolutely love miniatures, is just to clip on those adorable little clothespins on your twine. Just take however many you want, I put 3, and just clip them on there. We'll do more with them later. Just FYI, they look so good. Now on to one of the parts I love the best about this project is writing on the chalkboard. I am using my little chalkboard marker, but you can use chalk. The way I have this divided up is the left half is for reminders, things to do that are a little more general or family, that sort of thing. And the right half, I put something that was very personal for me to take care of myself, recognize myself, take time to pamper yourself, give yourself love, that sort of thing. That is extremely important. Just as important as the other side, okay? So this right side is absolutely awesome because if you look at where the arrow is, you can see the arrow goes down to the hook that is furthest on the right, which of course is intended for those little tags. Those tags are to be labeled with things that you love to do and just don't take the time for yourself to do them. Okay, so now is that awesome or what? Yes, it's awesome. The left side of the board is all about your family and friends, so you're taking care of that. And the right side is all about taking care of you, so you can feel good in doing that too, because you're doing both. Now, I need to mention that what you are seeing that I have written on the chalkboard, I changed it. After I got all done, I looked at it and wanted to change it up a little bit. So the picture says something different. I was trying to think what would be awesome for the bottom left hook. And to me, I thought maybe something precious. Change it out every once in a while. Maybe something to do with one of your children or your grandmother, a ring, a necklace. If you like crystals, a crystal, just about anything that you really cherish that would bring happy thoughts to you when you looked at the board, which to me might make it a little easier for you to just venture on over to the right side of that board and do that thing that you have written on that tag. Plus, seeing something that you love is always wonderful. Now it is time to work on the tags, so let's get started on that. Since they're kind of an important part of this project, I decided to use tags that were about 3.5 inches long and brown in color, kind of like the color of paper grocery bags, because to me they just seemed to fit with this theme. Also, it allowed me to paint them using white, which coordinated well with the frame. So the darker tags were a better option. And when you're creating something that has a theme, you want to try to keep most parts related to that theme, unless of course your theme is a whatever goes kind of thing. I do think tea-dyed tags would have been a good option as well. And for the painting of the tags, of course, me being who I am, I narrowed the style down to the relaxed and whimsical, but I also wanted to keep them really loose and free, and kind of like the frame is. So there's absolutely nothing constrained at all about the painting. To start off with, I kind of painted them in an assembly line just to get the backgrounds on. That way it would give some of them time to dry while I was working on the others, and that seemed to do quite well. I wanted to give you a quick visual recap of the tags that I've done. The checkerboard, the heart in the corner, the curved corners on opposing ends, the really loose burlap type, the polka dots, and the one that so far just has a teal outline and a white center. Now on these tags, I think it would be a great idea, since they're thicker tags, to flip them over, paint the back sides, and use the back sides as well, because these aren't tags that you're giving to anybody, they're ones that you're using for yourself, so that would give you twice as many uses. And remember, these tags are things that are special to you. It could be anything like go outside and listen to the birds sing. It's just mostly things that you don't tend to do for yourself because you're busy doing whatever else needs to be done. These are the take a little time for you tags. That would be an awfully long title though. I need to figure out how to shorten that. Okay, so now I'm going in and refining these just a little. I wanted them to stay loose, carefree, relaxed, nothing tight about them, but I wanted to go in and define them a little bit more, and this is actually one of the most fun parts. Go in and take your markers, make outlines, polka dots, swirls, checkerboards, that final little touch of, oh yeah, this looks good. And then when you're done with that part, go in and put that special something that you would like to do. Okay? Say if you like to, using the birds again, say if you like to go out and watch birds and listen to them sing. Maybe instead of the heart in the corner, you could put a tiny little bird there. You could make these tags relate to what it is that you want to do. Or not. Either way, it's the message that really counts here. Okay, on the heart one, I put pamper time, and that relates to a heart. And say, for example, the polka dot one, I put take a walk. Well, I don't know if that relates or not. But anyway, that doesn't matter. What it comes down to is this is your special time on your special hooks on your special chalkboard. Okay. You can use any markers you like. I've used, of course, my favorite black Sharpies, fine point. I do think if you have a small enough thing that you're putting on there, it might be better to use one that's a little larger, but that's totally your call. Also depends on how decorative you want to make them. If you want to put little swirls or dangles on them or something, then I would stick with the fine point marker. And of course you can make these a little tighter and not quite so loose if you'd like, because it's really the message that counts and having a good time creating these. Okay? All right. Now on these tags, the loosest one I have is that burlap one. That's just crazy loose, but I like it. The one that just had the teal border, I changed it and turned it into a checkerboard, or you could say striped, either one, border, which I really like. I like it a lot better that way. And if I had to pick a favorite one, I think my favorite one is the one with the two corners on opposing ends with the little swirls. And I also like the crazy checkerboard one. But that's pretty much all there is to creating the tags. Okay? Paint them how you like them. Put on there the special things that you want to do. And then take the time to actually do some of those. My idea of this was to hang all your tags on the middle hook and then take the special one off that you want to do next and put it on the far right hook. That way it's there looking at you and reminding you, yes, be nice to yourself and go do this thing. Okay, time to carry on to the next part. I keep thinking about this, so I wanted to go ahead and mention it. When you're creating the tags, it might be an awesome thing to make that even your special time. Take these tags, have a quiet moment, and as you're decorating the tags and filling them in with what it is that you want to do, make that in itself a really awesome quality moment. I think by doing that, it might even have a more special meaning to you when you look at them, which might be more incentive to do that special thing for yourself. Okay, that's it. Our project is done, so let's do a really quick recap. What you do is you drill your 3 little holes. Take your frame, rough it up a little bit with some sandpaper, put your coats of paint on. Once you're done with that, get your chalkboard, run some smaller twine through the 2 holes in your chalkboard, tie it off, turn it around, and put it into your frame, making for sure that the tied side is to the back of the frame. Put the little tabs down so your chalkboard will stay in place. Screw in your 3 hooks. You add those awesome little clothespins. Now it's time for your tags. Decorate your tags however you would like to. And depending on what kind of a board you're creating, if you're creating one like I have, then you would want to put those special things that you enjoy doing and usually do not take the time to do. Okay, once you have that done, you could do that first or write on your chalkboard first, whichever you like. Then write on your chalkboard, if you haven't done so already, what you would like to start off with. And if you look at the image I have here, I added a couple of pictures and wrote down about a birthday party that was coming up. And at the very bottom on the left, I wrote precious, so that spot was for something precious to remind me of loved ones or happy moments, something like that. The middle hook was for the things that I love to do. Far right is one of those tags put on the far right so you can actually do that thing. And that's really all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed this project. I loved creating it. This chalkboard that I've created is for sale if anybody is interested. Just FYI, if somebody does purchase this, I won't be able to update the video, but I will update it in the description box. So if you are curious about this one, please check there to see if it is available. Okay? Okay. I'd like to give everybody a special thank you for watching and for supporting my channel. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you again soon. Much love, Olivia.